Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Secretary Lutnick, for appearing before the subcommittee today. First, I want to mention that as I read your biography, I noticed that you have been awarded the Department of the Navy's Distinguished Public Service Award. And as a 28-year Navy officer myself, I want to congratulate you, as this public service award is the highest honor granted to non-military personnel by the Navy. So congratulations, sir. Job well done.
Thank you.
Last November, the American people decisively elected President Trump with a mandate to restore common sense in Washington, including the mission of reducing the size, scope, and cost of the federal government. Thankfully, President Trump's fiscal year 2026 budget delivers on that promise by charting a course to rein in federal spending. It proposes a 22.6% reduction in non-defense discretionary spending, a $163 billion cut from FY25 levels. As a member of both the House Budget and the Appropriations Committee, I strongly support this effort and remain committed to restoring fiscal sanity, ensuring that future generations are not burdened by Washington's reckless spending addiction. And that's right, I say Washington has an addiction problem. It's an addiction to opium. That's other people's money, OPM. Washington needs to go to rehab for this spending addiction, and I was encouraged to see that your budget request reduces the Department of Commerce's footprint by $1.75 billion, a 17% decrease from the FY25 enacted level. And your proposal rightly eliminates duplicative programs within the Economic Development Administration and the Minority Business Development Agency, and curtails over $1 billion in federal dollars that the Biden-Harris administration funneled into radical climate initiatives, research, and grant programs. So thank you for that. The Department of Commerce's budget request also includes a historic investment in the Bureau of Industry and Security. Now, that bureau is also responsible for a rule issued in April of 2024, an interim final rule, which makes permanent the pause on firearm export licenses, severely restricting U.S. manufacturers from exporting firearms, ammunition, and components. This rule shortens license durations from 4 years to 1 and requires case-by-case approval. It also revoked around 2,000 previously approved export licenses, forcing companies to reapply. So, Mr. Secretary, does the Department of Commerce have any plans to rescind this Biden administration interim final rule? How are you going to handle that?
Yes, we're looking into it now, and I find that inconsistent with our views. So we're examining it now, and you should expect us to comment on it shortly.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I encourage you in every way to rescind that rule. I think it's very, very damaging to the firearms industry. And I think that, that's a very important industry in this country because it has to deal with our constitutional rights. Now, I'd also like to address the tariffs and give you an opportunity to talk about that. For far too long, the U.S. has been disadvantaged by countries across the globe due to unfair trade practices. These longstanding trade imbalances have led to the offshoring of manufacturing and have undermined critical supply chains, which have resulted in some of our defense industrial base becoming dependent on foreign adversaries. Ultimately, the status quo trading system that we currently have has failed our workforce, threatened our national security, and left small-town America behind. Thankfully, President Trump is bringing countries across the globe to the negotiating table, ensuring that our economic policies remain America first, and ensuring everyday America workers and families do not continue to be disadvantaged. Can you speak to your role and that of the department in the trade negotiation process, and could you highlight the successful trade agreement that was previously mentioned with the United Kingdom that President Trump recently secured?
My role is to assist in opening markets for our ranchers, for our farmers, and for our manufacturers so they can sell their goods in markets that were always precluded from our manufacturers and our farmers having access. That's number one. And number two, to break open the barriers that these countries put up to keep us out even without tariffs. So if we break them down and we open those markets, America will flourish. Remember, $1.2 trillion of us buying from them means 4% of our GDP, the largest country in the world, we're giving to other countries. If we had that domestically produced, our growth rate would be 6%. Our deficit would go away by math, and we would be the winner in the world. And that's what the president's all about.
Well, thank you. Mr. Secretary, it's nice to see a successful businessman in charge of the Department of Commerce. And with that, I yield back. Thank you.